tribe. Big issue at Gosford Public School, and this was highlighted yesterday. In the upper house, John Kaye, Greens upper house member, not stupid, John Kaye, moved an urgency motion about the Gosford Public School, calling for the release of all documents. Minister Piccoli, I hope you're not telling lies, because you're going to have to prove that you're not. All documents held by Minister Piccoli or the Department of Education since March 27 last year that relate to a review of alternative sites to the current proposal to relocate Gosford Public School to Henry Kendall High. John Kaye, moving the matter of urgency, quoted Piccoli on my program, when Piccoli said, quote, the Minister, we looked at other options, we looked at all of the other options in detail, including reconsidering them after the election, and the decision was that the best site was at Henry Kendall. Now, my own view is that Piccoli, as I think I said to him at the time, was lying to me. Remember, he said including reconsidering them. But Piccoli, the Minister, can't produce a single document showing there was a review. Holstein, the fairly useless member for Gosford, I'm not too sure what he does for Gosford up there, on coal seam gas mining, Gosford Public School and so on, waved documents around in the Parliament. This is the review, he said. Well, no documents have yet showed up as a result of several requests for them to be produced. A request was made on the 14th of February. No such document as waved by Holstein has ever been cited. Either the government has the review, Piccoli has it, or he hasn't. If he hasn't got it, he's telling lies. If he does have the document, why is it being hidden? When John Kaye moved the urgency motion yesterday, the government opposed it in the Parliament. John Kaye's rung through. John Kaye, good morning.
Good morning, Alan.
What's going on?
Well, as you put it, there are two possibilities. Either they're lying or they're being deceitful. They're either lying about the fact that they reviewed it. In fact, they haven't reviewed it. They just took Labor's very faulty decision to relocate.
And thought no one would do anything.
Or they do have the document and they're refusing to show it to us. There was a government information privacy application, the so-called GIPA application, what used to be known as Freedom of Information. That application showed no documents that suggest there was any review whatsoever. Now, if you do a review of something as serious as this, surely there would be a paper trail. Surely
Absolutely.
There would be a document somewhere that referred to it. Not a skerrick. We had about 250 pages, not a skerrick, not a mention, not a whisper of a review. I simply don't believe they've done the review.
No, I don't either.
I think that Mr. Piccoli...
I don't think they thought anyone would worry.
I think that's right. I thought they didn't... I think that the coalition didn't think that you would get onto the issue. They didn't think that we would get onto the issue. But I tell you, I don't think either you or I are going to let this...
No, not at all. Not at all. And Piccoli can produce the documents, and if he can't produce the documents, he's going to have to wear the fact that he's lying to the Parliament. It's a very serious offence.
Absolutely. The people of Gosford deserve better. This is a major disruption to education. We contend it'll be a very bad outcome. They say they've looked at the other sites, the alternative sites, yet they cannot prove
a document. No document. No documentation. Just while I've got you there, just supposing you were running for Parliament, and
which I've done.
Which you've done, but I'm just saying right now, and you were appealing to the constituency that you, if you got into Parliament, would fight for another $50 a week for the pension, and not only that, you'd make sure that it was, say, $100 a week, and there'd be another $10 a week every month going into your account. And you wrote to all these constituents, and you said, if you vote for me, that will be cash you'll get every month. That cash will be received in a lump sum. That cash will help you. And don't worry, you won't have to make any claims, because that assistance will be there. It'll come automatically to you in cash every month. Wouldn't someone run round and say, this bloke Kaye is trying to bribe people into voting for him?
I'm not a great fan of cash rebates. I understand why those cash rebates were given. I think you and I mightn't agree on the causes and how that should be done.
Well, you should have to produce documentation that it's being spent on education. You're a shadow for education. You know that. I mean, we don't mind rebating legitimate education expenses, do we?
No, and I think that's right. But I think there are better ways of spending money on actually education itself rather than handing out the cash.
But if running for a campaign, you wrote a letter such as that, I think a few people would be asking questions of you. Just hang on there, because I've got Jackie Draper's run through from Gosford. Jackie Draper, the Gosford Public School. You've heard John Kaye.
Yes.
No documents?
No, there is none. I mean, I spoke to Chris Holstein, and he basically admitted that the only sites that he looked at were the previous 4 that the government looked at. No other sites were looked at.
So, but they said that they had reviewed it. In my program, he said that these things had been reviewed.
Well, that's right, and they've spoken to the parents of Gosford and Henry Kendall, and they've spoken to this person and that person, and they haven't. Pure and simply, they haven't. I mean,
so someone's telling lies.
They've said we've consulted with people. I mean, the meeting we had with Mr. Pickley, that wasn't consulting with us. That was telling us, basically, it doesn't matter what you say to me, I'm not changing my mind, the decision has been made. That's not consultation.
So, John Kaye, while I've got you there, cite procedures for New South Wales government schools from the New South Wales Asset Management Directorate of February 1, 2008 state, quote, primary school sites should be around 3 hectares in size, while 6.0 hectares is desirable for a secondary school. The whole of the Henry Kendall site is 4.65 hectares. It's only half the required site. How could you accommodate a primary school and future growth on that site?
Simple. You can't. It's not going to work. It's going to result in a restriction on the growth of that school, given that Mr. Holstein himself has says there's going to be 10,000 new dwellings in the catchment for Gosford Public School and Henry Kendall High School. He's going to stop those kids going to that school. They'll have to travel out.
Absolutely.
And those kids who do go there are going to have a lower quality of education.
But Jackie Draper, aren't I right in saying now it's already being acknowledged that with the limited open space, the kids are going to have separate or staggered lunch breaks, morning tea breaks and so on, because there isn't enough open space for the students?
That's exactly correct.
Well, John Kaye, how the hell can students concentrate in the classroom while other students are out on the shared playground?
Oh, absolutely. And there's one building where there's a courtyard in the middle of it, and the upstairs, I think Jackie can correct me here, I think the upstairs is primary and the downstairs is secondary. When one is on break, the other will be in class with the kids playing in the middle of the courtyard. That means they'll have kids playing right outside their classroom window. This is sacrificing the quality of education in a mean and nasty grab for cash.
I think Piccoli got a better wake up. He needs to now call the dogs off and start again. Just a quick one before you go, Jackie Draper. What is this Save Gosford Public School bill?
Well, it's a bill that's currently in the upper house, which is asking...
Introduced by whom?
Introduced by John Kaye.
So, John Kaye, you've introduced this bill, Save Gosford Public School bill.
Yeah, we've got a bill before the upper house which the government is doing everything they can to stop us bringing on and getting passed. It demands that the government stop the process of moving Gosford Public to Henry Kendall, consult genuinely with the community, and any court would interpret genuinely as having not happened so far.
Yeah.
A genuine consultation, look at the alternative side.
Absolutely. Common sense.
Common sense, yep.
Common sense. All right, Jackie Draper, you're wanting people to, in both houses of Parliament, to support the bill. Both of you keep in touch with me.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay, Jackie, all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, there we are. Well, that's just a mess, isn't it? All round. Barry O'Farrell will have to intervene on all of that. And Piccoli has made a grievous mistake. Basically, quote, he said to me, we looked at all other options. In detail, we reconsidered them after the election. That hasn't been done at all. 26 after